Welcome everyone to another update on my SH Figuarts MCU collection, as I have my 4 action figures in front of me, and in total Bandai Thor released 6 4-figures if you include the Endgame Final Battle Edition, and that one included a alternate head sculpt as well as some lightning effects, but essentially it's the same figure as the original Endgame version. So all in all, I'm going to be comparing all 5 of the 4 releases and then just giving you my opinions on which one I like the best. And I'll also be doing a head swap where I'll be changing the heads around just to give the figure a different look. And I know that some people do actually want to see that. So in the order of the MCU movie releases, I have placed them from left to right. So we have the Avengers Assemble, then it's the Age of Ultron, Thor Ragnarok, Infinity War, and Avengers End Game. So let's first start off with the Avengers Assemble edition. Now this is actually the latest 4 release. It only came out a few months ago, and to me this is probably one of the best 4 figures for the SH Figuarts, obviously because they have improved year by year, and in terms of the face sculpt is probably the best likeness to Chris Hemsworth. And of course the accessories included the Mjolnir, the lightning effects, as well as a spinning Mjolnir, which we've never seen before. And if you like the first Avengers look, which is probably one of the most iconic ones, then this one is for you. And then we have the Age of Ultron, which I actually didn't like. And since this was the first time Bandai were making MCU characters outside of Iron Man and War Machine, they were actually not the best in creating the sculpts. I just feel that the body proportions isn't quite there and the head is just too small for the rest of the body. So out of the collection, I'll probably say this is the weakest one. And then of course we have the Thor Ragnarok. So Bandai never released the first 4 or Dark World versions, but they gave us the 3rd movie, and this figure was also released alongside a Hulk figure. And obviously this look is a lot different to the other Avengers movies, but I feel that this face sculpt is pretty good as well. The likeness to Chris Hemsworth is there, and obviously the way they've sculpted the whole figure gave us the swords, and then also used like a rubber type of material for this cape. So overall it's actually a very good figure. And yeah, if you like Thor Ragnarok the movie, then obviously this one's for you. And this figure also came with plenty of lightning effects, which is a good bonus because that was the first time we saw it. Then we have Infinity War, and this was the time when the MCU characters really established themselves and the actors can kind of just look like the way they wanted to be. Like for example, Captain America never wore a helmet, Black Widow had the blonde hair, and then for Thor, you can see he had a nice fresh cut, which started in Thor Ragnarok actually. So yeah, this is the Infinity War look, which some people regard as the most iconic look out of all of them. And they improved a lot on the Age of Ultron version, giving us a soft cape. And I just like the way they've sculpted the figure as well. And this one of course came with the Stormbreaker. And then the final one is Avengers End Game. Just like the Infinity War one, the sculpt is great, gave us a really nice soft cape, and the face sculpt is also pretty accurate as well. And for this one, it included the Mjolnir as well as the Stormbreaker, and there was no alternate head sculpt, which was kind of disappointing. In fact, all the figures, only the Avengers Assemble one gave us a alternate face. The Age of Ultron gave us some extra eyes, but apart from that, the other 3 figures didn't come with alternate head sculpts. So this one is the same. It does come with the Stormbreaker and Mjolnir, which is nice, but again, no lightning effects either. So that's why you have to pick up the Endgame Final Battle Edition if you want a more complete 4 figure. Now I'm going to do the head swaps, which I think some people do actually want to see because, you know, you want to get a different look of each 4. Avengers Assemble version, and I'm going to place it on each of the figure. So when I take the head sculpt off, you can see that it's actually taken apart into 2 pieces. And then we can try and fit on the Age of Ultron version first. So take that out, and then I place the hair in. I just feel that the Age of Ultron one, the head sculpt is too small, so it doesn't quite work. Now this one, I feel that his shoulders are too high and since the peg isn't that long, the hair doesn't fit in that well, but the head actually just sits on, so it doesn't actually click on, but it sits on top, which could still work as long as you're not moving the figure around. And I think it looks a lot better than the original Age of Ultron one, because it can kind of get away with it since it's the long hair. And I just feel that the proportions is a lot better because it kind of matches with the body. The Age of Ultron one is just too small in my opinion, so it doesn't actually fit on, but it actually sits on, so it could still work if you want some core poses, especially as this Thor had this sleeveless look. And then if I put that to the side, and then we can try it with the Ragnarok, and it's kind of the same thing. Doesn't really click on, but it sits on. This look isn't quite there. I guess this is kind of before Thor got his haircut, but it doesn't fit as well, but it's okay, I guess, if you just want to have a bit of fun. But I think it looks better on the Age of Ultron edition. And then we have Infinity War, and since the collar is too high, it will definitely not fit. Even the first part of the hair doesn't go in the peg. So yeah, it doesn't work, and I think it's the same thing for the End Game version. Even though the End Game one does have long hair, but I don't think this one would work either. So yeah, it doesn't sit on since the collar and the shoulders are too high. So the first Avengers Assemble head sculpt only fits onto the Age of Ultron one and the Ragnarok one. And then next we can try out the Age of Ultron head, which I think is too small anyways, but it can sit on the Avengers Assemble. Even though the skin color is a bit different, it kind of works. You can actually use this for a Dark World look, because of course Thor had that long sleeves and he kind of had this type of hairstyle, so you could do that. And then we try it on the Ragnarok, which obviously doesn't fit. It kind of creates a gap at the back. The head's just too small, and there's no really point of trying it on the End Game and Infinity War ones because the collar again is in the way. So the Age of Ultron one isn't the best, but it does work on the first Avengers Assemble. And now we have the Ragnarok head, which is probably the least you're likely to do since he's wearing a helmet. Does it fit on the Assemble version? Kind of sits on there. Don't see any reason why you would want this look. I guess it kind of still works. And then the Age of Ultron one, it's doesn't work at all because the peg is too short and it doesn't even click on, and it just seems too big for the proportion. The Infinity War, nope, it doesn't work either because the collar's too high, and obviously to the End Game is the same thing. And next we have the Infinity War edition, which is obviously the short hair version. Let's try on the first Avengers Assemble. The peg is actually different, so it's not compatible at all for the first Assemble. And then for Age of Ultron, kind of sits on, but doesn't quite work either. His head's probably a bit too big. And then for the Ragnarok, which I've wanted to do, obviously, it does actually click on. So yeah, this actually does work if you want this short hair look of Thor on the Ragnarok version, which is of course what we saw in the movie. So that's good. And then for the Endgame version, it's essentially the same as the Infinity War figure, so I'm hoping it does fit. It does actually fit on, and it's kind of the same look, but obviously you get the big belly. And then the last one is the Endgame head sculpt. It comes with two pieces. So I'm going to try it on the Avengers first one, and it kind of works, I guess, although he seems like he doesn't have a neck now. And then for the Age of Ultron, again, proportions are a bit weird, but I guess you can still do it because it kind of just fits on to the back. Which is, the look is okay, doesn't click on the Infinity War one, and that should fit, I believe, because it's essentially the same. And obviously this is the one without the belly, which you may want. So that is my full comparison in the SH Figuarts collection. In terms of the best head swaps, I'll probably say the Avengers Assemble on the Age of Ultron. It just improves the figure by a lot, and also the proportions are better. And the other one would be the Infinity War one, which fits nicely on the Ragnarok edition, and of course is movie accurate. As for my favorites, I'm going to choose the latest release, the Avengers Assemble, the lightness as well as the sculpt, and of course the accessories included the spinning Mjolnir and lightning effects. And then the other choice would be the End Game edition, as the lightness again is there and also includes both Mjolnir and the Stormbreaker. But go for the Final Battle edition if you have a choice, as that included the alternate head sculpt as well as the lightning effects. As for the other three figures, they're not bad, but there's definitely room for improvement, especially the Infinity War edition, as the Mafex one included the lightning effects and alternate head sculpt. And then the weakest one is probably the Age of Ultron. It is the first release, and the Thor Ragnarok is kind of in the middle, but if you really like that movie, then go for that figure as well. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe, and stay tuned for more collections and reviews related to the MCU SH Figuarts.